Checkout tracking by the NPD Group brings you a receipt collecting system that gathers data anonymously through technology we created, providing your businesses with answers.
Our first speaker today is a man with 20 years of games industry experience. He has also contributed to over 500 games. I like to think of him like the agents in the Matrix. He's everywhere in this industry. He guards every door, he holds every key, and when you shake his hand, you become him. His name is Sean Kauppinen, but people call him Sean K. He's the founder and CEO of International Digital Entertainment Agency. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome to the stage, Sean K.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you for that awesome introduction. Very nice of you. So today, my title is 10 Keys to Success in the Mobile Game Market of Today and Tomorrow. But as I was writing this, I realized I don't actually know what the 10 keys to success are going to be tomorrow, so I'm going to give a different talk. So hopefully you're not here for this talk. So quick background on me. Scott said I've been around for 20 years. I consider myself kind of a Swiss Army knife for game companies. So if you have a problem and you're like, I don't know how to fix it, that's something when I get a phone call. So I'm the CEO of International Digital Entertainment Agency, which is IDEA. It's a very large name for a one-person consulting group, which is fun. So before I get too far, I'm going to see how awesome the crowd is or not, because I was a little nervous thinking that there might be 1,000 people in the room at first, and my friend told me, look out into the audience and, just so you're not nervous, picture everyone naked. And at first I thought, okay, this would be really, really creepy. And then I thought for a second, but what if they're doing what I did at my first conference and I'm actually thinking about the speaker naked? And then I was absolutely horrified. So anyway, we'll move on. Some ground rules. First, anything you're going to do in this industry, the game better be done. And it better be fun. And if you're going to put out a game that isn't fun, you're discrediting the entire industry. It's a waste of app store space. It's a waste of people's space on their mobile devices. It's a waste of time. It upsets people, and they won't just go and rip apart your game in the app store. They're going to rip apart everybody's game because they're pissed off and they're on a rant. So if you don't have a fun game, please just do yourself a favor, kill it, and move on. Do something fun. So second, you're absolutely going to need to tell people about your game no matter what. The days of being able to go into the App Store in 2010 and being like, wow, look at this game where we shoot birds and pigs at things and we get 500 million downloads. Doesn't exist, not anymore. I like this slide right here. If you build it, they will come. Even at the point when you watch Field of Dreams and you realize there's a bunch of old dead baseball players living out in the Iowa cornfields. Didn't they know that there was probably a school with a baseball stadium like another block or two away that they could just hang out there? The guy didn't have to build this whole big thing. This is what I look at the game industry today. You're not building this baseball field with a bunch of dead legends in the fall waiting in the cornfield. They're already playing on another ball field. So you better build something better. You better build something different. And they're not going to show up just because you built a ball field. So third, not everything I'm talking about today applies to all games. So there's going to be some things in here that I do present and say this is something you should do, and it might not work if you have a super casual match 3 game. Some of these things will, some of them won't. Okay, so time to get to the actual presentation. So every time a player leaves your game, it's a chance for them to actually never return. This is a really scary thought. When they have to put it down for whatever reason, maybe they take a phone call, they go pick up their kids, they might never come back. What a scary thought. What if this was your parent and you're sitting at home and they've left and you go, well, they might never come back. Awful. But also, more importantly, if they're not in your game, how are they going to spend any money? How are you going to make money if they're not there? So my whole thing is, let's remove the breakpoints to maximize that social affinity. I just used every buzzword that I could think of in one sentence, which is, let's make sure that they don't leave. Let's give them everything they need to stay within the game. And I think this is a philosophy that people need to embrace, just as they've embraced data science, just as they've embraced the need to actually do user acquisition and all these other parts. It's let's keep these players in the game. When they're there, Don't let them leave. So first, social sharing and invitations. I think if we look at it as of what a lot of people are doing today, we get something as awesome as this. Wow, if I sign into Facebook and I connect, I can get 5 awesome little things. A power-up. That's not really pushing people towards socially engaging with something. But part of this is you can't have a K factor unless you give them the tools where they want to use them, where they're going to use them. And that's within the mobile device. You need to have a way for them to actually be able to go out and socially share, for them to invite, for them to actually be incentivized with all these things beyond just the game. So I'm looking at some examples. Obviously, everyone knows about this. You can be able to post to Facebook. You can send out a tweet. Instagram's a great place to post pictures and people comment on it. But let's make sure that we're actually looking at the new platforms as they come out and new ways to do this. And there's a great little plugin that I've seen called Get Social that can actually handle a lot of that people don't have to go out and build this stuff themselves. But it's not just a Facebook login anymore. Second one is video capturing and streaming. When people are given the tools to actually pull down their gameplay video and show how great they are to the world, they have the ability to kind of become celebrities. So then you can take that opportunity to celebritize them and say, wow, look at this great person, and pump them up on your YouTube channel, pump them up on your different social media streams, and just, there's a lot of people out there that want people to take notice of them. And by giving them that opportunity within your game, you're not just letting them share, you're also potentially building the next PewDiePie or someone else who could be of great value over time. So don't just look at them as annoying people who are trying to make videos and possibly money off of your product. They are messengers, they are evangelists, they are your marketing department. And there's some ways that you can do this right now. Every play, obviously, camcord, and then the replay kit, which is going to come out in the next iOS update. This is a big one for me, community forums. I think it's really awful that when you're playing on a mobile device, if you actually want to communicate with anyone about it, you have to then go to your PC, or you have to shut down the game, and you can go and, hey, did you guys see this same thing that I saw? Why aren't these on the mobile device? They should be. If you look at the PC, there's tools that make it so you don't have to even leave the game, something like an Overwolf or a Curse. Over time, they realized, okay, MMO players are running around. They don't want to leave the game to even go to the forums, so let's bring the forums within the actual place where they're at. And this is something I think some people are starting to think about. I heard about FreshV, a new in-game forum company, and HelpShift does the CRM side where you don't have to leave when you have a problem. So if I want to communicate with the company and say, hey, I'm having an issue here, or I have a question about this, I don't want to be sent out to a site that says, have you rebooted your device? 93.7% of all problems are solved by rebooting your device. No, I don't. I want that personal interaction. And if you can keep me within the game, I'm not going to try something else. Another one is guild systems. So guilds from the MMO side are incredibly important because they don't just allow people to kind of schedule events or make sure that everyone's doing a specific task at a certain time, but they also are a great mechanism for obligation, saying, wow, you know, Tommy, you weren't there at 4 o'clock on Wednesday when we were all doing this, so you're really not a good person. So it gives you the opportunity to kind of push people to do a task when you want them to do that. Great mechanism. At the same time, this is something that really drives a lot of monetization because there's that peer pressure of, wow, we're all trying to get towards a goal, but also the opportunity for the whale or the higher end spenders to show that they can take care of the group. Let me go ahead and get the supplies that we need to actually do this task. All they need are very rudimentary tools. And I have a good example here from Heyday. If you look, they have 30-person neighborhoods, as they call them. These are technically guilds, and these came in about a year after they started the game. And everyone here is invited, or they can apply for membership, and then they have a separate chat channel. So you can talk to everyone within that specific group. And then you can do additional tasks, and you can help people with different tasks that they have in their specific farms. Status system. If you look at it in leaderboards, achievement systems, these are so essential because, again, it's about that celebritizing individuals and giving them the ability to feel like they have great self-worth, that they're good at something, that they have a place within society. And I look at, if you're not having an award or some kind of a leaderboard system or an achievement system, you're missing out on that ability, plus the ability to create that nice thing from human nature, which is competition. I can carrot that I can go a little bit further. I can spend another 10 minutes in the game, or I can go another 4 levels, and then I can be above that next person. So it's a great way with very little work to get people to stay in your game and engage more. In-game reward systems. So there's a great game out there many years ago called Fiesta Online. And the first time I went into this game, it popped up in the upper right-hand corner. There was a little package. It looked like a little present, and it had a countdown timer. And it said 5 minutes, and it was counting down. I was like, I wonder what's going to happen after 5 minutes. And I'm sitting here, and I'm literally playing the game. I'm like, can I make it 5 minutes in this game? It's pretty difficult. And then I opened it up, and it gave me basically what would be a starter pack. But it carroted me to the starter pack. And then as soon as I opened that, another one popped up, and this one was now 12 minutes. And I said, oh my goodness, if I wait another 12 minutes, I'm going to get something else. So they started to train me like a Pavlovian experiment here, where if I stuck around, I would get the next reward. So I haven't seen this in mobile games yet. Maybe there's a couple examples, but I think that playing to that part of people's human nature of show me how long I have to wait to get the next great thing in actual real time, and then having this reset when you come out of the game and you go back in. It's like, okay, you're not going to lose your time, but that 20 minutes is now 12 minutes for the next session. This actually drives a lot of engagement, and I saw that people extended their play sessions when they were playing this specific game over time because they knew they were going to get something. So periodic rewards. This is what a lot of people do today. The weekly login reward. Day 1, get this. Day 2, get this. After 7 days, you get the big old prize, and the whole thing resets. So right now, pretty much on an 8-day cycle, or if things fail, you have to start over. This system is completely broken. You cannot have a daily reward system anymore. You need a system that is much more active. I'm saying 4 to 6 play sessions in a day in order to get people hooked, because if you're not doing that much, they're moving on to another game. They've got this reward system coming in daily from every other game that they have on their device, and it's coming from a push notification that they need to come back. So you need to be hitting them a lot harder and a lot stronger. So I think increasing that cadence, and then just getting to a point where it kind of tapers down a little bit. I think that the sweet spot is around 18 to 20 hours, where you want to make sure that that's how often you're hitting them with, hey, here's a reward to come back to the game, or hey, your bank is full, or whatever it is. So you can look at this as push notifications as well as rewards. I think everyone needs to have an event system, some sort of event system. And these don't have to be specifically time-based, like, hey, it's going to happen on Friday and it's going to end on Sunday. It can also be triggered by player-specific actions. And this is a concept around, what if 1,000 people got to this level within this period of time, and then it unlocks something? And we tell the community the reason this is happening, or this will happen if this event reaches this specific point. So you can basically drive that herd mentality into, wow, we all need to be over here doing this specific task, beating this specific level. And if we do that, they're going to give us the bonus level, or they're going to unlock this special area that they only bring out every once in a while, and then they put it back in the vault, like Disney. So here's a fun example, also from Heyday, of the weekly tasks. So we sit here and we run around. We've got that group from the guild, and we're running and doing our event. And at the end of it, you're like, great. Now we all claim something. We get rewarded for it. Another point that I'm thinking about is loyalty programs. So this can be in-game loyalty programs. It can be out-of-game loyalty programs. But the idea is, if you're going to be building something out and you want to keep people in, they say, wow, I personally fly United Airlines all the time, and they upgrade me. They give me the nice little upgrades for free because I'm flying so much with them and spending so much money. This is the same thing games need to be looking at. We need to basically say, this person plays 100 hours a week, or this person pays $100 a week. And so I think there's a key dynamic there. It needs to be something on a loyalty side where even if you're not paying money to play the game, that your time is still respected at a monetary value. So maybe it's worth 5 cents per hour if you play the game, but it's worth $100 to get to this tier. But you have to give people the opportunity to be in that loyalty program, whether they've spent money or not. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of backlash. Here's a good example of something that I recently saw. And I get a lot of games that come by my way, and I say, wow, you're missing the whole point here of being a VIP, but why can't I be a VIP if I don't spend money? So this actually alienates a good portion of the population. I sent this back to them and said, you need to fix this because people are going to react. But it's good that they're thinking along these lines of, okay, let's do this. The other thing is, if you look at the top of this VIP chart, you never want to show people what the next tier is or how far the tiers go. You only want to show them you're this close to getting to the next level, because otherwise they'll look and go, oh, it's going to be really hard because they've got to do that whole 1,000 in between there. It's twice as much. And then this is the Evolver thing that I found, which is pretty interesting. They have it so you can actually eventually win a t-shirt by doing in-game events and buying things. So this is actually my favorite part to talk about, which is basically there's certain monetization models that people look at right now. Everyone does their special sale, they do their time-based sale, they do their starter kit offer, but there's so many opportunities within monetization that are not looked at yet. For example, what if you had volume-based pricing? If there's something that's popular and you just made it less and less expensive, there's a actual equilibrium point where everybody can afford something. And it's probably taking an item that's $2.99 and over time bringing it down to $2.99 price point, and people going, okay, now I can afford it. But the people who bought it at $2.99 tend to not be upset that a year later it's now available for 99 cents because they had that utility for that time. Coupons. I don't know why nobody's done coupons yet. Why not, when I come in, rather than saying, hey, here's your 20% offer for the next 17 hours or 22 hours, why not give me a coupon that says, if you ever decide to buy, you can have 30% or 40% off whatever you choose, whatever package, whenever you want. And it could be something that's already on sale. It could be applied multiple discounts. But this is a level of merchandising that's beyond how people are thinking today. This could also be something I could give away. How about buy one, get one free? This is a great opportunity. I went into Family Guy Quest for Stuff, and they basically told me, buy one 500 clam package and get a second 500 clam package for free. And I did the math on it. I was like, wait a second. After I purchased it, because I was like, this is great. And afterwards I go, wait a second, this is exactly the same price as if I bought the 1,000. So there's some interesting ways to package things to make people go through that psychology loop you want them to actually jump over the edge. This is how a store like Kohl's can sell clothing, and they say, oh, it's 70% off. Well, they mark it up 200% and then they bring it down. Same thing with jewelry that you might buy at a mall. It's marked up 1,000% and they go, oh, 50% off sale. Well, you're still paying 60 times what it's supposed to be. Targeted gifting. This is something that Nick might be interested in. So what if you had a friend and you're there and you're playing the game and it says, Scott's been playing with you, but he hasn't come in and played for the last 5 days. Would you like to send a gift to Scott specifically? So I'm using you as a player to actually reactivate your friend, and using an opportunity, whether it be a gift purchase, or I could even do this for free and say, if you send this to Scott, he can have an opportunity to have something that's paid that he's never had, maybe to get him more interested, and then you're excited about it because now he's got some things. Maybe you compete in the same derby, you can work together. But I think you have to drive this type of thing by analytics and your churn modeling. Okay, someone's going to leave after X amount of time. This person brought them in. Let that person keep them in. I love limited items. This is something where maybe you only have 10,000 of an item out there, and we used to do this in Runes of Magic and many other MMOs that I worked on. Buy these legendary wings that have zero effect in game, but show that you were the person who bought the big red wings. Great, that's awesome. But let's make them only available for 24 hours, and then we do the Disney Vault thing and we retire it for 7 years. Or we say there's only 1,000 of these, and then the people who end up getting them are really, really special in the game. It could also be something where you have them reach a certain level and then you gift these limited edition items. So it doesn't have to be just selling them. It could also be getting them from other methods. I've seen this recently, which I love, daily allotment programs where you sit here and they say, buy 1,000 gems or buy this package. And really it's getting 1,000 gems, but each day you're going to get a small percentage of that. So they're really capping people's ability to pay. And what you see on this is they double buy. They'll buy a daily allotment program for that 30 days, but they go, oh, but I need more gems right now. So they'll actually do these little purchases in between. So you actually end up with a nice baseline of revenue and then spikes. It's a very smart model. This is one I think everybody's going to talk about. Advertising, sponsored by, just like TV. So if I'm going to go play a level of Angry Birds, it says, this level of Angry Birds brought to you by General Mills. And I watch the General Mills commercial, and then I get to play the level. And at the end, I say, oh, that was really fun. I rate it, and then it goes to the next one. This level brought to you by mufflers, blah, 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 whatever. So this is a model I think that everyone needs to be looking at, especially people who are having trouble monetizing through traditional IAP methods. So pretty much I'm at 19 and a half minutes. So there's a ton I would love to talk about. I think about these things all day, all night. This is just a few that I could stick in here real fast. But there's a lot of stuff going on. It changes every single day. And I would love to talk to anybody in the room who wants to just listen to somebody rant for another hour. So thanks for listening.